Welcome to the Global Updates, bringing you the latest news from around the world. Ford factories close. Trump's tariffs spark outrage. The American auto industry is in turmoil. Ford is shutting down factories across the United States. Thousands of workers are losing their jobs. The culprit? Many blame President Trump's tariffs on imported cars and car parts. Trump's trade war tariffs explained. President Trump believes that tariffs protect American jobs. Tariffs are like taxes on goods from other countries. They make these goods more expensive for Americans to buy. The idea is to encourage people to buy American-made products instead. Price hikes and job losses. The auto industry feels the heat. The auto industry, a cornerstone of the American economy, is currently facing unprecedented challenges. Tariffs are having the opposite effect. Initially intended to protect domestic industries, these tariffs are instead creating a ripple effect of economic strain. Car prices are going up, hurting both consumers and businesses. The average consumer is finding it increasingly difficult to afford new vehicles, leading to a decline in sales. American car manufacturers rely on parts from all over the world. These parts are essential for the production of vehicles, and any disruption in their supply chain can have significant consequences. Tariffs make these parts more expensive, increasing the cost of building cars in the United States. This increase in production costs is then passed on to the consumer, resulting in higher prices for new cars. Dealerships are feeling the pinch as well. With fewer customers able to afford new cars, sales have plummeted, leading to a surplus of unsold inventory. This has forced many dealerships to offer significant discounts and incentives, further cutting into their profit margins. The impact on employment is equally concerning. As production costs rise and sales decline, automakers are left with no choice but to cut jobs. Thousands of workers have already been laid off, and more job losses are expected in the coming months. Economic analysts warn that the situation could worsen if the tariffs remain in place. The auto industry is a major employer in many regions, and its struggles could have a ripple effect on local economies. There is hope, however, that ongoing trade negotiations could lead to a resolution. Government officials are working to find a balance that protects domestic industries without causing undue harm to the economy. In the meantime, automakers are looking for ways to innovate and adapt. Many are investing in new technologies, such as electric and autonomous vehicles, in an effort to stay competitive in a challenging market. These innovations could help reduce reliance on imported parts and lower production costs in the long run. However, the transition will take time, and the industry must navigate the current challenges carefully. For consumers, the best advice is to stay informed and be patient. The market is in flux, and prices may continue to fluctuate as the industry adjusts to new realities. Despite the current difficulties, there is optimism that the auto industry will emerge stronger and more resilient. With the right strategies and support, it can continue to be a driving force in the economy for years to come. Ford's supply chain snarled, a real-world example. Take Ford, for example. Ford, one of the most iconic car manufacturers in the world, has been facing significant challenges in recent times. The company, known for its innovation and reliability, has found itself entangled in a complex web of supply chain issues that have had far-reaching consequences. Ford needs specialized computer chips for their cars. These chips are crucial components that power various functions in modern vehicles, from engine control to infotainment systems. Without these chips, the production of cars comes to a grinding halt. The demand for these chips has skyrocketed, not just in the automotive industry, but across various sectors, leading to a global shortage. These chips come from Asia. Asia, particularly countries like Taiwan and South Korea, is home to some of the world's leading semiconductor manufacturers. These factories operate around the clock to meet the ever-growing demand. However, the journey of these chips from Asia to Ford's assembly lines is fraught with challenges. The global logistics network, already stretched thin, has been further strained by the pandemic, causing delays and disruptions. The tariffs make these chips more expensive for Ford. Trade policies and tariffs imposed on imports have added another layer of complexity. These tariffs, intended to protect domestic industries, have inadvertently increased the cost of imported components. For Ford, this means higher expenses for procuring the essential chips. Financial analysts have been closely monitoring these developments, noting the significant impact on the company's bottom line. This makes Ford cars more expensive for you. The increased production costs are inevitably passed on to the consumers. When you walk into a Ford showroom, the price tags reflect these added expenses. Potential buyers, already cautious due to economic uncertainties, find themselves facing higher prices, making the decision to purchase a new car even more daunting. As a result, people are buying fewer Ford cars, leading to a noticeable decline in sales. Dealerships, once bustling with activity, now see fewer customers walking through their doors. The sales charts paint a grim picture, with numbers steadily dropping. This decline in sales has a ripple effect, impacting not just Ford but also the numerous suppliers and businesses that rely on the automotive industry, forcing Ford to close factories and lay off workers. The reduced demand for cars has led to difficult decisions. Ford has had to shutter some of its factories, leading to job losses and economic hardship for many workers. News reports highlight the closures, showing the human side of this crisis. Workers who once took pride in building some of the world's best cars now face an uncertain future. The ripple effects of these closures are felt throughout the communities, underscoring the interconnected nature of the global economy. History repeats itself, the ghost of Smoot-Hawley. You know, this isn't the first time tariffs have backfired. Back in the 1930s, the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act raised tariffs on thousands of imported goods. This led to a trade war, deepening the Great Depression. Voices of reason: Ford CEO and economists sound the alarm. In a recent press conference, Ford CEO Jim Farley, alongside several prominent economists, has raised significant concerns about the current economic policies, particularly focusing on the impact of tariffs. Ford CEO Jim Farley has criticized the tariffs, calling them a major headwind. He emphasized that these tariffs are not just a minor inconvenience, but a substantial obstacle that could hinder the growth and competitiveness of American businesses, especially in the automotive sector. Economists warn that tariffs will ultimately harm the U.S. economy. They have presented detailed analyses showing that the long-term effects of these tariffs could be detrimental, leading to slower economic growth, reduced job creation, and increased costs for both businesses and consumers. They argue that tariffs raise prices for consumers and hurt American businesses that rely on imports. The increased costs of imported goods mean that businesses have to either absorb these costs, reducing their profitability, or pass them on to consumers, leading to higher prices for everyday items. For the average consumer, this translates to higher prices on a wide range of products, from cars to electronics. Families looking to purchase a new vehicle, for instance, might find that the cost has increased significantly due to the added tariffs on imported parts. American businesses, particularly those that rely heavily on imported materials and components, are feeling the pinch. Small businesses, in particular, are struggling to cope with the increased costs, which can lead to difficult decisions about pricing, staffing, and investment. Economists have presented data showing that the tariffs could lead to a decrease in overall economic activity. The ripple effects of these policies could be far-reaching, affecting everything from consumer spending to business investment and international trade relationships. Jim Farley and the economists are urging policymakers to reconsider the current approach to tariffs. They advocate for a more balanced strategy that protects American interests without imposing undue burdens on businesses and consumers. The goal, they argue, should be to create an environment where businesses can thrive and consumers can benefit from competitive prices. This means finding ways to support domestic industries while also maintaining healthy trade relationships with other countries. Collaboration and dialogue are key. By working together, business leaders, economists, and policymakers can develop solutions that address the challenges posed by tariffs and ensure a prosperous future for the U.S. economy. The message from Ford CEO Jim Farley and the economists is clear: thoughtful, informed policy decisions are crucial for the health of the economy. By heeding their warnings and working collaboratively, there is hope for a more stable and prosperous economic future. Making your voice heard. What consumers can do. Consumers can make a difference. Contact your elected officials and tell them to oppose these harmful tariffs. Support organizations that advocate for free trade. Navigating the storm tips for car buyers. If you're in the market for a new car, do your research. Compare prices from different manufacturers. Consider buying a used car, which may be less affected by the tariffs. Conclusion: a call for common sense. President Trump's tariffs are hurting the American auto industry and the economy as a whole. It's time for a more common-sense approach to trade policy, one that benefits both American businesses and consumers. As we look to the future, the auto industry stands at a crossroads. With advancements in electric vehicles, as tariffs ripple through the global economy, The implications extend far beyond the auto industry. Countries are re-evaluating their trade agreements, and businesses are bracing for a more protectionist landscape. International supply chains face disruption, potentially leading to higher costs and slower growth. As the global trade landscape shifts, the political ramifications are becoming increasingly evident. Lawmakers are under pressure from both sides, those advocating for protectionist policies and those warning against economic isolation. Political alliances are being tested and the stakes couldn't be higher. Countries are grappling with the delicate balance of protecting domestic industries while maintaining international relationships. The political fallout from these tariffs is a complex web that will shape the future of global governance. As the dust settles, the auto industry and global trade landscape will continue to evolve. While the road ahead is uncertain, innovation and adaptability will be key. Companies that embrace change and invest in sustainable technologies will be better positioned for the future. Consumers, too, will play a critical role in shaping the market with their choices. Ultimately, the journey forward will require a blend of resilience, foresight, and collaboration. As the auto industry grapples with tariffs, the broader economy feels the ripple effects. Supply chains are disrupted, impacting not just car manufacturers but countless other sectors. Small businesses and local economies are not immune. The shockwaves extend far and wide. Even international markets are affected, creating a complex web of economic consequences. The interconnected nature of global trade means that one policy change can trigger a cascade of impacts worldwide. As the world watches the unfolding economic drama, nations across the globe respond. Diplomatic tensions rise as countries negotiate new trade agreements. Retaliatory tariffs are imposed, further complicating the situation. Public outcry grows louder, with citizens demanding action from their governments. The global community stands at a crossroads, seeking solutions to an increasingly complex problem. As the tariffs take effect, the impact on jobs is profound. Thousands of workers find themselves out of a job, their futures uncertain. The auto industry, once a pillar of economic stability, now faces layoffs and cutbacks. Families struggle to make ends meet as the ripple effects of the tariffs spread through communities. The human cost of these economic policies becomes painfully clear as livelihoods hang in the balance. Despite the challenges, there is hope on the horizon. Efforts are underway to negotiate better trade deals that will benefit both domestic industries and global partners. Innovators in the auto industry are exploring new technologies and markets, aiming to create a more resilient future. Communities are coming together, supporting local businesses and each other during these turbulent times. The path forward may be uncertain, but with determination and collaboration, a brighter future is within reach.